another impose, and this one can be done by a two-person team, which is again an unusual introduction to the impose activities. This one is called Broken Lines. Once again, because it's an imposed class, all the competitors got exactly the same plant material. And so we're looking for broken lines. This one, as I said, it could be done by one or two people, and this would be judged all around. So the idea with it is that it's got the video around the wrong way, so let me just go back this way before I get into trouble from technical support. What needs to happen. The photos beside so you can see the full length, but the idea with judged all around is that there's interest in the design regardless of where the judge looks from. And it should look different from each angle. So move on to the second one. You can see the second one there. So again, this designer has used pretty much, I would say, everything that was given to them in the box. That's his way. I know who this is done by. This is a very well-known designer from Thailand, very much in his style. But they are, as you can see, they are all broken lines. Perhaps not as broken as some of the others, in that he's got some very straight lines there, though the typhoon, they're not typhoon, has been broken. So that's the broken line of the design. An interesting technique to add the wire into the base of the typhoon so that you get that nice long drop. I won't walk around all of them. You'll get the idea of how it's going to look different from every angle. Once again, some interesting techniques used with this interest. I am taking this video on the last day, so these designs have been up for 5 days now. They were judged the afternoon of the first day, and then 4 days of them being on display for the public to look at. So you will hear the public walking around looking at them as well. Remember, this is Broken Lines, the title. So what the judges are looking for is a line of a design that is broken in some way. So it wouldn't matter which direction the line took. So you could be diagonal, horizontal, vertical. And given the space that's allowed, and most of them have gone for the vertical line. And in this one, I would say the interpretation is that the vertical line has been broken by the way the flowers come out. Here's one that has far more broken lines. My eye must still be in because that's actually the one that got. And this one, as you can see, it's got lots of little awards on it because it was first in the class, but it's also the best design in all of the imposed classes. And I think in the end there were 5 imposed classes. Break, as happens in these things when people come and talk to you again after they've seen you a few times over the days. So this one, as I was saying, first in the class, the best of the imposed classes. So imposed classes are pretty popular at these occasions because it means anyone coming from overseas can come here and compete without having to bring all of their plant material or their structure, whatever else it is. It's all makes it easy for them to be able to compete. But this is, again, some interesting use of techniques to create interest in the design and repetition of the colours and the repetition of the lines, but the lines are broken. So we look at the vertical line, and that's broken by some diagonals, horizontals, and it is going in every direction. So the lines, regardless of where you look, are broken by another line in some way. Just if we go back to the cable ties on that previous class, you look at the cable ties on this one, still obvious, but cut much closer to the join. Again, all facing the same direction, and much, for my mind anyway, a much neater finish on the design than any of the others. So I think we have a look at this one from the back. This was a very big class. There's 14 entries in this class. And you start to, when you've had a look at a few, you start to get a feel for what the judges were looking for in the lines being broken. So here we have another of the place getters. And you can see that there are lines that are broken, but when we go back to that, the winner, you know, that every line in that one is broken in some way, whereas all these others have got a line that is unbroken in the design. And so that would have been the difference. You know, what happens is that the judges will look at anything that is outstanding, anything that's got a wow factor to it, and then after that, the lesser placings or the minor placings. And if there are close designs, then they'll look at the mechanics. So that's why we're always emphasising to you that the mechanics have to be as perfect as they can be, because that could mean the difference between first and second, or third and nothing. And I do apologise for the fact that I've got to go pan up and down on these designs, but I actually can't stand back far enough to get the whole design in for the most part. It's quite a busy hall, this one, as you can probably hear. Again, we look at some of them and their use of the space. So you see the baseboard, that's the maximum amount of space they've got. And normally we would look at that baseboard and we think, well, I've got to go 1.5 times the width of that. So some of them are not tall enough, I wouldn't think, or would have lost marks for not filling the volume of space that would be required. It's interesting, this one's actually put some curved lines in. I think it's probably the only one that's got real curved lines in it. It's got a couple of breaks in the curved lines, but probably not emphasised enough. Here, third place getter, and this was considered the best staged exhibit. So that means best use of the staging and the material. You can see in this one that what they've done that's different to any other exhibit, I'm just looking down the road to make sure it is that the stand that they were provided with, so here's the stand, and everyone else has used it in that placement, and these people have put it at an angle. So they've broken the line of the container that they were given to use, as well as breaking the lines in the use of the plant material. There's a lot of work gone into that staging of this exhibit, and so that's why they would have got the Best Staged Exhibit award, because the staging of it is quite complicated and quite balanced and well thought out, I should say. So there we have it. That's the imposed class for one or two people called Broken Lines. Just run back down there. I hope that gives you some idea of the intricacies of the imposed class. I would encourage you to have a go at one of them because it does make you think on your feet. It makes you often use plant material that you wouldn't otherwise use.